Hello and welcome to this video about the treatment of permeate from reverse osmosis installations. My name is Walter van der Meer and I'm a professor in drinking water treatment. During this lecture I will first shortly discuss issues related to permeate quality, and second I will tackle each individual issue and the possible solutions for it. The permeate, as it results from the RO installation, is not perfectly fit for all applications. Depending on the field of applications and the required characteristics of the water, the permeate may need to undergo some additional treatment steps. The quality of the water required for industry needs to be further enhanced through methods like ion exchange or electrodialysis, in order to remove remaining anions and cations. The water for horticulture use must comply with the specific demands of the crop. Addition of essential nutrients like potassium, nitrogen and phosphorus, pH adjustment and the degassing are typical additional treatment steps. For the municipal use, the water quality is improved in order to fit health standards and storage and transport guidelines. In order to achieve this, multiple steps may be required, like remineralization, degassing, readjustment of pH, disinfection, oxygenation, and removal of the residual pollutants. Remineralization comes from three incentives: corrosion prevention, hardness guidelines, and taste of drinking water. As you learned before, the Langelier saturation index can indicate the probability of corrosion and scaling of calcium carbonate in the system. After an RO unit, the LSI is typically below 0, so corrosion is possible. The aim is to achieve a LSI slightly higher than 0. The most used method for remineralization is CO2 dosing before a limestone filter. The drawbacks of this method are the residual CO2 that needs to be removed afterwards, as well as the additional investment cost for the limestone filter. An alternative remineralization method is milk of lime, calcium hydroxide, and CO2 dosing. The drawback of this method is an increased turbidity caused by the local supersaturation of the calcium carbonate. Other remineralization techniques are the dosing of calcium chloride and sodium bicarbonate and a split treatment operation. Split treatment means that only a part of the water passes the RO unit, whilst the other part is untreated. The permeate of the RO unit and the non-treated water are mixed, resulting in the desired water quality. The drawback of this split treatment is that a part of the micropollutants and the pathogens are not removed by the membrane filtration. The dosing of acid in the pre-treatment improves the solubility of salts and decreasing the chance of scaling. The low pH also leads to the necessity of readjusting the pH after the RO filtration. This can be done either by limestone filtration or through the dosing of a base. Regarding the requirement for disinfection, the permeate contains no microorganism. However, biological growth is possible in an additional treatment step after the RO unit. A disinfection step with UV and or oxidation can be mandatory. Moreover, in most countries a additional chlorine concentration in the storage and the distribution system is required. A degassing step is important for removing any remaining CO2. Other gases like methane should also be removed. This can be done through a common stripping tower or by a more expensive but more compact membrane degasser, or by the addition of compounds like sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. Oxygenation of water is necessary in order to comply with the drinking water guidelines. Different methods are available, like jet aeration, bubble aeration or mixers. However, the oxygenation and degassing can be done together in the stripping tower, making this a very efficient solution. Some species have a very low reaction, either based on size or charge. An example is boron, which can cause important issues for human health as well as for the crop's development. In seawater, boron is present as a boric acid. The issue arises from the fact that the uncharged form, which occurs at low pH, has an insufficient reaction. A solution can be specific high boron reaction membrane, or the addition of a second treatment step like ion exchange resin, electrodialysis reversal, or a second pass membrane filtration with an increased pH. It is important to differentiate between second pass filtration and staging. Staging refers to the further treatment of the concentrate from the first stage in the second stage. Second pass refers to the treatment of the permeate from the first pass in a second membrane step. The water passes 2 times the membrane. I hope you learned a lot during this video. Thank you for your attention.